We have a possible WWE World Title Tournament spoiler for you, plus an update on Drew McIntyre and AEW, and a popular wrestling TV show is returning soon. It's all in the wrestling news right now. So in our first video today, we talked about that video that Edge shared from his training area, talking about wanting to become the WWE World Champion, win the tournament, defend the title, and then retire when he loses it. Now, Dave Meltzer of Wrestling Observer pointed out something rather interesting. On the 18th of August, there is a SmackDown taping in Toronto.
Yes.
Which is where Edge wanted to retire.
Sure is.
Now, this backs up some Edge's previous comments about wanting to retire in Toronto. Could this be the perfect setup to see Edge win the world title, fight all comers on Monday nights, lose the title around SummerSlam or even at SummerSlam, and then say farewell in Toronto after?
I would not be opposed to that happening, Tom. As we were saying on the previous news video as well, Edge is a phenomenal master of words, because before he had put that promo out, I wouldn't have even sort of batted an eyelid, thought about him ever winning that championship at all. And then he puts that video out, and I am now like, do you know what? If they do run it back, if they do let him have this sort of one last big run with the title, end it on his own terms this time, as opposed to what happened prior, then I'm all for it. I'm ready to see this go down if it does so go down, you know?
It seems like a nice way to do it. We'll find out tonight. Edge will be in one of the triple threat matches with AJ Styles and Rey Mysterio. Oh, give them time and they'll have a good time.
So good.
Very up for seeing what they can do. Meanwhile, let's go over to the AEW side of things. Some good news heading out of Wembley for Tony Khan.
Yeah, there certainly is. So from Ravy David Meltzer on the Observer, he said, right now Wembley Stadium is set up for a capacity of 74,000 for AEW All In. That is a lot of bums in seats.
Now, they haven't sold 74,000 tickets yet, but it's set for that capacity. Currently, last I heard, it was around 55,000 in the sales. This is before they've announced a single match. All we know so far about the card is that Will Ospreay, according to sources, is scheduled to be in Wembley. Mark Henry is coming to Wembley.
He's excited.
He put out a video not too long ago where he said he was excited about the culture and the food, and he's dreaming of Nandos, famously English food. Was it Portuguese chicken?
I could not tell you. I could not tell you what it is, but I'm happy that Mark Henry is excited for that Nandos.
Yeah. Does this mean we're going to get a sighting of Mark Henry in Nandos a la the time we watched The Undertaker in Nandos?
I hope so. I hope so.
And I like the idea of him sat there and being, oh, Mark, tell us it's time for the main event, while he's got like half a roast chicken in his mouth. You love to see it. Will Bret Hart be at Wembley, Andrew?
Well, according to Dave Meltzer in The Observer, he says that obviously there has been a lot of UK sentiment toward Tony Khan to bring in Davey Boy Smith Jr. since he's already there. I believe he's there for a Progress show, and Bret Hart for an appearance on the show. I don't believe Hart can legally appear due to his WWE deal, so it seems as though not.
He's on a Legends deal with WWE, so I think him turning up would certainly break that. Davey Boy Smith Jr., however?
That would be pretty cool. I would like to see that too.
He's been announced for Progress for It's Clobbering Time show that's taking place during the week of Wembley in London.
Yeah.
Which is honestly a strong move from Progress to get him in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if he's around, I think it'd be quite nice to have Davey Boy Smith Jr. sort of re-walking the path.
It would be great. Yeah, exactly. I think that would be so cool to see, and almost like a missed opportunity if it doesn't happen as well. You know.
You would hope that they would see the sense in doing that.
Yeah.
But we will see. Will Drew McIntyre be at All In? This is after like several weeks of contract issues and creative issues between WWE and Drew. Where are we at with that, Andrew?
Well, again, according to Dave Meltzer in The Observer, he says, regarding McIntyre and the idea he could be at All In, there is basically almost no chance of that. His contract expires months after that date, so even if he were to leave WWE when the deal expires, that's a big if, and goes to AEW, which would most likely be the destination he goes to if he were to leave, that can't happen until 2024. Also, WWE is likely to tack on all of his current period when he's been out of action with an injury that would move the end of his deal back. So no.
Couldn't drink all that.
You give it a good go.
Give it a college try. I can't see Drew McIntyre being part of AEW. At least I know that he has said that he is keen to. Should the WWE thing not happen, reports have stated that Drew would look to other options. Currently, he can't legally be seen to be doing that because he's under contract. So we're not suggesting now that he's walking into meetings with Big Toad et al. But I think whatever Drew ends up doing, I think he's going to be fine. I think he'll land on his feet wherever he goes.
Yeah, definitely.
If he goes.
If he goes. This is, I know obviously like there's injury and things that are hampering him at the moment, but like this is a good thing for Drew that all this talk is going on around him, and a lot of positive words about him as well. You know, we spoken many a time on the news about him being one of the MVPs of the pandemic era within WWE, carrying the company on his shoulders for a lot of it as well. And like for WWE to lose him, that would be a big loss for them, but it'd be a tremendous gain for whoever gets him if he was to leave. Yeah.
2 weeks from today, Impact Wrestling are presenting Under Siege. Nick Aldis will return to Impact special events in 2 weeks' time to face Kenny King. Made his in-ring return for Impact last night in a match against Sheldon Jean with Kenny King on commentary. Aldis very much making it clear that he's back to win the Impact World title. So a possible headline show at some point with Slammiversaries on the horizon. Nick Aldis, Steve Macklin for the world title at Slammiversary. Does that float your boat?
Yeah, it does actually. I don't mind it. I quite like Nick Aldis. I'm glad to see him in Impact. I can't wait. I'm glad that we're not going straight after Steve Macklin. You know what I mean? There's a little bit of a thing before then to lead up to this, rather than it just happening straight out of the gate. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah, let him sort of work his way through.
Yeah.
Push his way through the card. How's Under Siege looking as a card? What have we got?
Ooh, my glasses. Well, it's looking pretty good, I'm not going to lie. So we have the Under Siege card here for you now. The Knockouts champion Deonna Purrazzo defends against Jordan Grace. Now, if Grace loses, she can't challenge for the Knockouts title again while Purrazzo is champion. We've also got the X Division champion Trey Miguel defending his title against Chris Sabin. You've got Eddie Edwards versus Moose. Who's Moose? Moose.
He's a very quiet brother.
He is. Versus Jonathan Gresham versus Yuya Uemura. I'll get there eventually with this Yorkshire tongue. Frankie Kazarian versus Alex Shelley. That's going to be a lovely match.
Top
Lots of really
contenders
good
match
names.
that is for the world title.
It's going to be a good one. We've got the Design versus Sami Callihan and two mystery partners as well. Ooh. We've got Trinity. She's in an open contract match, which that'll be really interesting to see.
So anybody can face Trinity.
Absolutely. And we also have the Impact World Champion Steve Macklin defending against PCO in a no DQ match. Woo-wee.
Little sneak preview next week. Desert Island Graps with PCO.
Oh,
we've got him in the French-Canadian Frankenstein.
That is awesome.
Chats to Cultaholic about his title match at Under Siege. Also, one of my favourite spots of PCO's, one of his favourites in his career was when he got recharged by a hearse at Final Battle for Ring of Honor.
Oh, that's so good.
I shared that with him. He got really cross.
He got really cross?
Do you want to know why?
Please tell me.
You'll find out next week.
Whoa.
He's lovely. He didn't get cross with me, but you'll find out next week.
Oh, you've got me tantalised, Tom.
Talk of tantalising, I am delighted with this news. Arguably the best wrestling drama show ever. is back on. Stephen Amell and Alexander Ludwig's season 2 of Heels. We have a date for season 2, Friday, July the 28th on Stars, which if you're here in the UK, Stars is on Amazon.
Okay.
And it's one of those channels where you scroll down and it's there.
And it's there.
It's brilliant. If you missed the first season, it's the story of the Spade brothers, who run an old school wrestling promotion in Georgia. And when their father passes, it's their sort of struggle for power. Just great, a great love for wrestling in it, and some really cool stories told.
Yeah.
I think the best way to get over how well this is put together is that I really enjoyed it as a wrestling geek. Oh, hi, Mark. And Alex, my wife to be, not so much a wrestling geek. She sat and watched it and had a good time as well.
That's always nice when there's a balance like that. Now, I've not seen it, but if they can balance the stuff for the wrestling fans, but also get people who aren't necessarily wrestling fans on board as well, it's always a good sign.
They've done really well with it, and it's Friday 28th, season 2. I am buzzing. It is, outside of Eurovision this weekend, it is the TV highlight of the summer.
Yes, it certainly is.
For the latest wrestling news throughout the day, you can check out cultaholic.com. Case.
Love you, bye.
Nil point.